DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. This video is for the basketball players. Those of you who want to play pro, you want to play ball overseas, or you just want to play pro, period. Maybe you want to play for the Lakers and be the starter and take LeBron James' spot, but maybe your path is going to take you through playing overseas, playing in maybe a minor league somewhere, maybe some semi-pro, maybe it's going to take you through the G League. If you're going to go through any of those paths on your way to wherever you want to go professionally, I want to tell you the number one thing that you're going to need, in addition to actual basketball ability, to make it happen. Before I do that, let me tell you that I have a daily motivation text I send out every day. I'll give it to you free of charge, straight to your phone, every day, just like a regular text. All you got to do is text me at the number that I'm going to text you from. My number is 305-384-6894. Daily motivation text every day to keep you focused, sharp, and on point, whether you're an athlete, entrepreneur, trying to figure it out, or anywhere in between. Just text me at that number. It is also down below in the description. And at the end of this video, I will tell you how to get a copy of this book, Overseas Basketball Blueprint, completely for free. All we're going to do is ask you to cover a small shipping charge. I'll send that to you worldwide, wherever you're at. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But first, let's get to this point. You want to play basketball professionally. Any level that you're going to go through in order to get there, or while you're in there, the number one thing that you're going to need is you're going to need some type of internal drive, some internal reason, or some of you call it that internal why. You're going to need something that will push you through the challenges of playing professional basketball in every other league outside of playing, let's say, in the NBA, outside of that. And the reason why is this. When you play professional basketball, I'll speak from my experience. I didn't play in the G League, but I did a lot of speaking gigs with the G League, so I talked to a lot of players in the G League. I talked to every team in the G League. I have a really good idea of how they travel. I got a really good idea of how they are housed, and you can look up their salaries on the internet when it comes to the G League, even though they're not playing the G League. But overseas, things run the gamut because every country is unique, every league is unique, every team has different budgets, and every player has a different situation. But what you have to understand about playing basketball overseas is that it's not all glitz and glamour, even though it might seem like that from the outside looking in, and depending on who you may be paying attention to. Understand that when you're over there, there are several things that you're probably not thinking about, you as an American who's been in America your whole life and you want to go play overseas. First of all, you might be on a team of people who don't even speak your language and don't understand your culture, meaning you're not going to have many people, many human beings to connect with while you are playing overseas. So that means in between practices, in between games, on off days, the times when you would normally maybe hang out with your girlfriend or hang out with your homeboys or hang out with your family members, when you're overseas, none of those people are there. And there's a chance you might end up on a team where there aren't any other Americans. Or maybe you'll be on a team where there are other Americans, but the other Americans on your team, and I'm targeting this specifically to people from the USA, other Americans on your team, you might be 22, you just got out of college. Your American teammate might be 27, he might be married, have a wife and his kid living with him while he's playing overseas, so you can't hang with him. Or you don't have a family like he does, so he's not going to be spending time with you. He's not going to a club with you. He's not going to talk to girls with you. He's not going to sit around and watch TV with you. He's going to spend time with his wife and his girl. So what are you going to do? Maybe none of your teammates even speak the language like that, and if they do, they might not speak it fluently enough that you can really connect with them on a deeper level, so you don't really have any humans to connect with aside from on your phone and through Zoom and social media and stuff like that. But I mean, at some point you're going to want to connect with some human beings. So that's one thing, is the human connection. There's a good chance you might be somewhere where you don't have any human connection with someone who understands you on any level other than you're a basketball player and we're on the same basketball team, and that's it. And that's hoping that they actually can speak English. Usually you'll have at least a couple teammates who speak English, maybe not all the time. You'll have one or two, I would say. In my experience, I was on teams where maybe only one or two guys spoke English, and I didn't hang with those guys even all the time because it's like they didn't really understand me on a deeper level. They understood English, but they weren't from the USA. They didn't know any of the experiences that I had been through. I couldn't talk to them about deeper things. I had to dumb down everything that I said to make sure they even understood what I was talking about. So the human connection, that's number one. Number two, when you're playing overseas, understand that the system is not like some recreational league at Equinox or the LA Fitness. It's not whoever's the best player that scores all the points, they just play the whole game and they do whatever they want. It doesn't work like that overseas. When you're overseas, you might be the most talented player on the team and clearly the best player on the team. You might not even be in the starting lineup. You might only play 20 minutes out of a 40-minute game. your team is losing and the coach won't even put you in the game. You're already getting your asses kicked and the coach is not even giving you the ball. These are the kind of things that can happen when you're playing overseas. And if you know anybody who's played overseas, they will co-sign this. This kind of stuff happens. So this is the basketball side of things, that just because you're the best player, or if you think you're the best player, or if you are the best player, doesn't mean everything's going to go through you and you can just take over and dominate whenever you feel like it. I've said this in so many videos, and I'm going to keep saying it. Overseas basketball is not like the LA Fitness. It's not like some recreational league you play in the summertime. It's not like anything that you do in America. It's not some pickup game. It's not like any of that. You go overseas, you're not going to be doing any of that shit in an overseas basketball game. If you are, you won't be playing. That's the bottom line. And understand, coaches don't coach over there the way that coaches coach in the United States. It's a completely different way of looking at the game. And here's the other thing you got to keep in mind that I've already touched on. Your coach might not speak English. So if your coach is not doing what you want them to do, they're not using you how you want to be used, you can't even go to the coach and have a private conversation like, Coach, hey, how about we try this? Or how about we do this? Or how about you get me the ball in these situations? You can't have that conversation because the coach doesn't speak English. Now what you going to do? You ain't got no choice but to sit on that bench and wait till you get your chance to get in the game. And this is how it works. And trust me, ask anybody who's played overseas, they will tell you this is how it goes. Another thing that's going to happen when you're playing overseas is a lot of players, maybe you want to play overseas because you're like, well, I make a certain amount of money and I can take care of my family and do this and that. All good. I'm not telling you that that's a bad idea. There are a lot of people in the world right now who are working at jobs, not because they love the job, but because of how much money they make or can make, and they want to use that to take care of their families. I want you to understand something. When you're playing basketball overseas, as soon as you take that check, now you got to do everything that team tells you to do. And if you think the amount of money that you're going to make, or the fun and games of being a pro basketball player, or being able to post on your Instagram that you're in Italy, or you're in Greece, or you're in Spain, or you're in Japan, or wherever you happen to be playing overseas, and the clout that you're going to get amongst your peer group back home because you're playing overseas, let me tell you something. And the money on top of that, all of that shit gets old real quick. Within about 6 weeks. If the money is the thing that made you excited, within 6 weeks, the money won't be exciting you anymore. If being able to post on your social media that you're in some foreign country that most of your friends and family will never go to, they couldn't even find it on the map if you paid them money to do so, that shit will get old in about 6 weeks. When you're over there, you're playing, and let's say you get to talk to the girls. I mean, let's not act like that's not part of the deal. At least for you heterosexual males who are playing basketball overseas, you get to meet the girls, and the girls are going to know you, and you get to meet in town. You're walking around, the cheerleaders know you, and whoever else is in that town. I mean, y'all know the game. That's going to get old in about 6 weeks. I mean, as long as you have enough of anything, eventually you get used to it, and it's not so exciting 6 weeks in as it was the first day. You understand what I'm saying? This includes money. This includes attention. This includes girls, sexual activity. This includes personal clout, and you're just feeling the pride of knowing that you achieved a certain thing that other people didn't achieve. All of that shit gets old real quick when you're over there and you don't have any humans to connect with on a serious level, on a deep level. If you're not getting the kind of playing time or the accomplishments on the court that you actually want to get, if you're just not having a whole lot of fun because maybe the team's not that good, maybe the facilities are not that amazing, maybe you can't even go to an empty gym and work on your game whenever you feel like it. That's another thing about playing overseas. When you're overseas, it's not like America. Here in America right now, I don't play basketball anymore at all. I don't play pickup. I don't do anything. If I wanted to go play ball right now at this moment, within 15 minutes, I could hop in my car. Within 15 minutes, I could be in the gym with a ball on the court, working on my game by myself if I wanted to, within 15 minutes. And if you live in the United States, if you got a car, you're probably no more than a half hour away from being in a gym with a ball on the court by yourself, doing whatever you want to do. Overseas, it ain't like that. In the countries that I've been to, and I would think many of the countries that any of you have been to, if any of you play overseas watching this video, it's not as simple to just get into an empty gym and just be able to work on your game by yourself, or just shoot around, or find a random pickup game in an indoor gym that anybody can join. That's their setup is not like how it is here in America. Here in America, there's a gym right there that I can go work out at. There's another gym over there. There's a basketball court over there. There's a condo with a basketball court inside of it over, where is it? That one over there. There's another one right up there. I could walk to a basketball gym right now and work on my game indoor right now if I wanted to. Overseas, most places it ain't like that. The only indoor gyms are the ones that are controlled by, they're usually controlled by the city, like government type thing, and the team. And the only time you can get on that court is when somebody from the team or somebody from the city, whoever's a worker or whatever, opens up the gym for you. It's not like you always have keys to the gym and you can just show up whenever you feel like it, like in America, or it's like open from 5 in the morning to 12 at night. You just get a membership and then you can go in and use the gym. They have that for fitness gyms, like lifting weights, get on a treadmill, stuff like that. But a basketball court, most of the time you're not going to find that. So you won't even be able to do the main thing that you love to do. I'm assuming you love to play basketball. I'm assuming you love to play basketball. You won't even be able to do that whenever you feel like it. You'll be able to do it when the team schedules it, but you won't be able to just run and do that whenever you feel like doing it. All this said, I'll tell you something else. There needs to be something about this whole thing that you love that goes deeper than the money, the attention, the fame, the clout, or the ego boost that you get from being a professional basketball player. You need something that's stronger than that. Your love for the game of basketball needs to be there, or your drive to achieve at a certain level, even through the hardships, that needs to be there. You need to have something that's bigger than just those surface level things, because again, as I told you, they get old. For me personally, yes, I did love playing basketball, but what I loved even more than that was the drive of being able to prove myself. And I told you in any of you who've listened to any of the stories that I told about my background in sports, that when I didn't get to finish out my college career, when I went home after college and my parents didn't quite see the idea that I had of being a pro basketball player, those things are the things that really drove me. Basketball happened to be the vehicle to do it, but those are the things that really drove me to achieve and keep going and keep trying, even when things weren't working out. And that was the drive that pushed me through these exact situations that I'm laying out for you. That when all those other things got old, those are the things that kept pushing me to keep doing the thing. If you don't have that and you're just playing ball because maybe you're playing because you're tall, you're playing because you're talented, you're playing because you went D1, you had a scholarship, and somebody called you and said, yo, there's a team that might want to sign you overseas. If you say you're available and you go overseas and you can get your passport stamp and everybody in your family's all proud because their little brother's playing overseas. Listen, if you don't have anything bigger than that or stronger than that moving you to keep playing, your career will be very short. You're not going to last. Why? Because overseas ball is not all fun and games. I've said this in other videos before, but I was thinking about this just yesterday, so I decided I was going to record this and put this out here. And all y'all like new videos, even if I'm saying the same thing that I've said in the past. I said some new things here, but y'all like new stuff. So here's a new video for y'all. For all you ball players who want to play pro basketball, I just want you to be forewarned. You need to figure out, before you go overseas, before you accept a deal, before you sign a contract, before you even talk to an agent or go to an exposure camp, what is it about playing ball and about that experience that is a strong driver for you that's bigger than just the fact that you get to tell everybody that you played versus, or the dollar amount that you're going to make, or the girls that you get to meet, or the fact you get to post it on social media and everybody's going to say, wow, such and such played pro basketball. Do you have anything that's bigger and stronger than that as your drive? Because if you don't, I'm guaranteeing you're not going to be over there long. You will want to go home. All right, they're not going to send you home. You're going to want to go home, and you're not going to want to go back. So you can take my word for it and figure this out before you get there, or you go over there and you can learn the hard way. There's nothing wrong with that if you do. Just don't say nobody ever told you. Now, with all that said, I got this book called The Overseas Basketball Blueprint. For those of you who still want to play overseas, despite everything that I just said, I'll give you a copy of this book for free. All we ask is that you cover the shipping. All you got to do is go to balloverseas.com. The link is below in the description, balloverseas.com. The book is free. All you got to do is cover the shipping, balloverseas.com. I will show you everything that you need to know to play basketball overseas, even if you're like me and you did not have any agents or teams making you offers when you got out of college. Even if you're like me and you went to a D3, or if you went JUCO or NAIA, or maybe you didn't even play in college, but you still feel you have the talent and the ability to play overseas, this book right here will show you exactly how it's done. Go to balloverseas.com, just cover the shipping, and I got you covered. And send me a text. You get my daily motivation text. My number is 305-384-6894. Work on your game. Dre all day.